Welcome everyone back to the Crimson 15 podcast. I'm your host, Crimson Sen.
If it's PCA,
They tip 4x4.
I'm your host, Crimson Sen.
if it's PCA,
They tip 4x4.
Be sure to check us out over on Twitter at C15 Podcast. Join the discussion over on Discord, link in the description below. And if you're enjoying the videos, be sure to sub, like, share, and hit that bell for notifications. So, episode 2 of Halo, and this thing isn't, they're hour long. This could have been like 30 minutes.
Yeah.
There's a lot of shots of like this asteroid place that don't need to be in the thing.
it doesn't even look that good. That's another problem. Didn't even look that great.
Some of the shots look okay. Some of them literally look like toys. Like you know, back like in the 80s, they do an action scene and you can totally tell the helicopter's like a toy.
Yeah.
And some like that little like tram they go in. Sometimes it literally looked like a toy.
Yeah, there's shots like that. There's a lot of talking, a lot of like political intrigue.
Yeah, there's inter departmental power struggles between like Halsey and Commander Keyes. Oh, she gets more of the money and the funding. What is this?
Well, I don't know. It's not Halo. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, if this would have been a TV series and they made a game about this, then it wouldn't be.
It would suck.
It should work both ways. Like, if the game was so good, let's make a TV series. If the TV series is so good, let's make a game. If this was a TV series or a game based off of this, would you walk around and do nothing?
I'll tell you,
Yeah.
halfway through, I want it to be over. I'm like, is this over with yet? I don't want to watch
So
any more of this.
Yeah, fast
boring.
forward,
It's
fast
so
forward.
just
Yeah.
dry. It's just too
And
much.
and the UNC, they're bad guys.
Yeah, they're straight up
The
evil.
full-blown bad guys.
Full-on evil.
Not
Yeah.
the Covenant, they are.
Yeah. So it makes you want humanity to lose. Because everyone's evil.
Right.
All the good guys are bad.
Yep.
And guess who the good guys are? All the rebels and those are the good guys. The people that look like you were saying. What was that? Demolition Man.
Demolition Man. Exactly what it is. You got the UNC looking all clean, but it's all corrupt. And then you got the dirtiness.
Who live under the city.
But they're free. They're true. Yeah, okay.
Oh yeah, I bet you because things like assaulting women, robberies, and all that. None of that happens down there, right? Everyone's
No.
just kumbaya singing. Right. That place would be a freaking cesspool.
It
would
would
be pretty bad.
It would be. Yeah.
So we start up, and so they're on the run. Remember, Chief and what's his face? So they're still on the run, but we get a flashback. 22 years ago, is that what it said?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we get young John, and it's 117, so he knows John. So there's like the Spartan training facility, and it's just the graphics here look weird. Again, like when you see like the hangar far away, it looks fake.
Yeah, the
It
shots
looks
don't
so
look very good.
fake. And okay, so you see John, he's sneaking out of bed. I'm like, oh, is he gonna go get some munchies or something? Like, what's he gonna go
Yeah,
do?
what's he do?
So he goes and you see a big fence. You don't see him jump the fence. He's just on the other side of the fence. Like, why didn't he show him like jump over it?
Yeah.
It probably would look cheesy, that's why.
I don't know. So he gets there, and then his black friend's there, and he's like, the way that John talks is like, oh, he talks like he's in the military. This guy just talks like some 90s. You know what he remind me of? It just like reminded me of like a Disney 90s black guy.
Yeah, kind of generic.
Yo, man, let's get out of here.
Yeah,
what you
like
doing
a
here?
90s guy. Like
Yeah.
a regular guy talking.
Go, come on, John. Let's get out of here. Then like John's like, I can't let you leave. Oh, come on, man. Like it's so weird. So they're gonna break up because what they're doing to us, there, man, is wrong. We need to get out of here. And John's like, no, that's like you're breaking protocol. Man, that's just those pills they've been feeding you. They've been brainwashing you, my man. And that's how this guy talks.
Yeah, it's very...
It's weird. So this guy's gonna break out. Then John's like, oh, no, I'm not gonna let you. He's like, you're gonna have to kill me. So well, then I'm gonna have to do it. And he's like,
gun jam.
yeah. Then he's like, oh man, the gun jammed. So I'll give you 5 minutes. Give me 10 minutes. Give me 3 steps. So he's like, oh, I'm gonna give you 5 minutes. Just get out of here. So he let his best friend escape. So John has like this whole thing about like loyalty, but how come this guy, the mind control didn't work on this guy?
I don't know.
But it like worked super well on John.
It worked out well on all of them, except for this one guy.
Was he not taking the pills, the supplements or whatever?
Yeah. Might have been.
Which
Who
is
knows?
funny, because that wasn't even a thing. Like, they didn't suppress. The only thing suppressed was their sexual drive. Ever.
Yeah,
That's-
ever with the thing. They didn't turn them into automatons.
Yes.
John had a personality.
And if you watch, there's a lot of videos out there from like either games or from like stories they did
In the
about
books.
in the books and about him growing up, where he's a person. He even talks about it. He even talks about how bad the augmentation was to them, and he's like, he even says like a line of like, I want us to be used, not spent.
Yeah.
And that's like kind of like where he's like, and then when all of those died from the augmentation, he's like, they were spent, they were not used.
Yeah.
You know, like
Because
proper.
like it would like your bones sometimes like literally you'd look like a car wreck victim because your bones would pop out in weird directions and you literally look like you were mangled
Yes.
because your muscles tensed up in weird ways and your arms and legs
You know
would
what
break.
was a better scene in this? Like in Star Wars Rebels when you had Ezra leaving the academy because he was going undercover. You know, but he's going to become a stormtrooper and the other kid stayed. That was a better interaction between two people when he was leaving.
Yeah,
the
two.
Yeah,
two
he felt like a military guy, that kid. This feels like, hey man, what are you doing? You know, like, hey man, when are you going to go with me? I mean, it's
so weird.
And okay, so later on in the episode, we see this guy ends up with a wife and kids. Are people saying these guys that John's gay for this guy? Is that what they're saying? I can only imagine that they're saying that's what this is. But John's confused. And I'm trying to figure out who I am. There's a lot of those kind of
Well, you're trying to figure out who he is, but I don't think it's that.
He's like, oh, baby. And he jumps over the fence. So we get back to that was John thinking about the past. And then they're like hyper jumping, but the bisexual colors. So we got like light pinks and blues. Remember in the scene, I remember someone on Twitter said this, and I don't know if they were joking. I don't think they're joking. Remember in King Kong versus Godzilla? And they were fighting in Hong Kong, and it was a lot of purple and blue lights. Oh, it's bisexual lighting.
Oh.
So that's what this is. This light pinks and blues.
You know what's really funny about that? Isn't that the Covenant's colors?
They're all purple.
Oh,
But this is like that light pink and everything. That's what it looks like when you're in hyperspace. Why is that a thing?
I don't know.
And
People make things.
This girl is so irritating. Oh, why did you save me? I don't know. How come? What's this artifact? I don't know. Then she's like making fun of him, saying, "I don't know."
I know. Very
Are these the jokes?
These are the jokes, and it just come off as being very ungrateful.
It's not funny. Stupid. So we get to Reach, and the guy who should have been Admiral Keyes.
Admiral Keyes.
Look at this guy. Looks just like the guy from the video game.
He does.
He looks just like him.
100%.
So he's talking to Halsey, and Halsey's like, "Oh, we gotta, save Chief." And he's like, "Well, how can you bring him back? If he went AWOL, he's got to be punished. But if we punish him, then it's gonna look like, oh, he was like the hero of the humanity." But he's really not yet.
Not yet, and not until the first Halo.
Yeah, I know. So it's like it's weird. So they're like, "Well, we better figure that out." The other Spartans are on. They're going after him. But I like this black guy. He should have been Master Chief.
Yes, a lot of people in the comments and stuff have said like
he has his cadence too.
He has his cadence. The way he acts is very Master Chief.
I know.
And almost like it's funny. Flip the roles. If there was a different Spartan going AWOL doing all this, and that was John, like being like, it would fit perfectly.
I know.
It would fit so well because then you could be like, he isn't a hero yet. He's still gonna do detailed missions of like saving.
No, they had to make him the one doing it.
Yeah, they had to make him be the different weird one.
The runaway.
The runaway, yeah.
So everything about this show is so freaking weird.
And again, and I know people say like, oh, they don't have to like play the games. Like this, if they would have played the games,
they would hate this.
They would, yes, they would understand a lot better.
And the guy's like, Chief always has a plan.
Yeah.
Well, then why are we going after him? He's like, because Halsey told us to.
Yeah.
So let's go.
Let's go.
But she specifically said don't hurt him.
Yeah.
So we're going to go save John. We're not going to go kill him. So like, okay, that's fun. Then like Master Chief's face is like on the most wanted list. Surprised they didn't have what's his face from America's Most Wanted. Oh, this once Marine is now on the run. Like he does like a whole expose.
Or it should have been the scene from Captain America, Winter Soldier.
Yeah. He's
a fugitive. Oh.
So they jump out of hyperspace in an asteroid field. Can we get any more generic sci-fi? Whoa! Then it starts making the Star Trek like noise. It's exactly the noise. And then the girl's like, "What's happening?" Strap on. So it's just weird, just sci-fi tropes. Then there's like a secret city in the asteroids.
It wasn't necessary.
So this is where John was going. This like secret world. That scene was like 5 minutes long.
Yeah, because you just see
them like dodging. I do like how space is like silent. Like you can't hear, like it's very muted, the sounds. But some of it looks good, some of it looks horrible. So they find this magic city that's in the middle of nowhere. They hook up and I'm like, what the? They get down and it's like Demolition Man. Remember the underground Santa Monica?
Yeah.
Looks just like it.
Yeah.
It's the teen hangout from Ninja Turtles.
It's all that rolled up into one. Yeah.
So you see Master Chief walking around with a suitcase and his underage bride, and they're walking through this place. Everyone's like, "Oh, get their guns because there's a Spartan," And I'm like, imagine the games. Imagine this being a level in the game. You have to get down, escort the girl. Like it's just there's no action. How horrible of a game this would be.
And how awkward you feel with shooting other humans as Master Chief.
But then they try to like block his way, and I'm like, that's not gonna stop.
See, there's also a lot of walking.
Yes.
There's walking and walking and walking in this like drudgery little town. Then like they bark like a fork. The guy's like, take that, Spartan. The Master Chief's like, get it out of my way, and he just pushes it out of the way.
And again, another thing, in the game, he flips tanks.
Yeah.
Flips a tank over.
Like it's made full of helium.
Yes, and he does it with ease. Do you think a forklift was going to stop me?
Yeah, so he just pushes it out of the way. Then we hear the black guy, the guy from the beginning, he's like, go, calm down, man. If Chief wanted you dead, you'd be dead.
Yeah,
we'd all be dead.
We'd all be dead, yeah.
Master Chief's like, hey, Quan, check this out. He starts punching people, their heads are exploding.
Literally punch someone in the chest and their chest explodes.
Like, he literally, it's like in slow-mo. You see like the other bones shatter. It'd be almost like Omni-Man.
Yeah.
Almost to that level, how strong he is.
Yeah.
Or like, just, you just grab your head and just pop it.
Yeah.
So... Then he's like, hey, man, what you doing here, my brother? And then he's like, I don't know why I'm here. Oh, come with me. So that's the guy. He let him go. What was his name? Soren?
Soren.
What a cool name.
That's kind of cool.
He's like, boy, I was Soren. So he just wanted to be free. Like, oh, so you went to go live with the devil's butt crack and this is free?
Yeah.
You know, this looks horrible.
It's so funny because he keeps saying that throughout the episode.
How free
I am.
Well,
okay.
why can't it be more like, okay, I have to hide? This is my hiding place. Okay, that makes more sense than say I'm free. That's not what this is.
And maybe show a little bit more of like, okay, we have to hide because we're trying not to stay off you guys' radar.
Because I don't want to be caught. Yeah.
Right. So it's a little bit more desperate. It's almost like they are happy here. Like even if nothing was like putting them down, they would want to live here.
So he's like, come with me, my brother. So he's like, so who's this? Like, this is a girl I saved. He's like, that's weird. Okay, keep walking with me. There's tons of walking. The walking goes on for like 500 million years. They go into like the little train car thing, and then it becomes Halo the roller coaster.
Yeah.
Woo! Yeah, like even it's going really fast. And it's like, when we thought it was like it's the mine cart level from Donkey Kong. It's like, okay, get ready to jump, guys.
Hey, guys, lean to one side, huh?
So then it like shoots off in outer space. And we're like, what the F? But then it like grabs a hook, and I guess it needed all that inertia to push through space.
How would it do that?
That's a lot of risk.
They were really proud of this shot. It doesn't look that great.
No.
So again, this is another like 10 minutes of nothing. I guess he also mentions that some guy, they put a hit on this girl.
Yes.
And then like he's like, wow, the UNC put a hit. He's like, no, it's some guy the UNC's working with. Why is this girl so important?
I don't know because I'm sitting here thinking she could tell a lie, but why would you believe her?
But at that point, you could say she's just nobody.
Yeah.
What are they gonna do? What has she got her to prove that
She's
she
not
was there?
the ambassador. She's not the daughter of the emissary or something. She's just some girl who lived on a planet they were pumping whatever that energy was.
And then
That's it, just some girl.
And it's also what's so dumb too. They show drone footage of this guy doing horrible things. Wouldn't that spark a rebellion just off of that? They don't even need the girl.
It's so weird. But they got a bounty on her head. What effing sense does that make?
I don't know.
So they go to this guy's house, which is like in an asteroid or whatever, and he's like, oh, his kid comes running out, and he's like, you have a child? And then his wife, who looks like a, like you were saying, it was like a Cowboy Bebop kind of character.
It did.
I mean, she's dressed like almost like in a, space 1940s nightgown.
That's what I said. That's why it felt like Cowboy Bebop.
Yeah, it's
like,
so weird. And she's like, "Oh, charmed,"
She had the little thin black cigarettes.
Yeah, and then she's like, "Oh, John, Soren speaks a lot about you." Not that much. Are these the jokes?
These are the jokes.
So we get to High Charity or whatever, the space octopus or jellyfish. And then we have that Elite.
Yeah.
He's talking about the thought of what he saw. He saw the activation of the artifact, and they're all speaking Elite speak or whatever. The Elite speak.
Elite speak. Covenant speak.
The Covenant speak.
Elite speak. I love that.
So, all the E's or threes, and they're saying, she's like, oh, I can go reclaim the thing and I can bring it back. Like, oh, it's too dangerous. You're a chosen one or something.
The blessed one.
Blessed one. I'm like, what? She's like, whoa, when you rescued me and took me in. What?
They probably killed everyone and then saw you could do something cool and they just took you.
No, that's what? Such like, oh, I can hide amongst the humans because they don't know. They'll just think I'm a human. Then they're like, okay. Again, that was another 15 minutes.
That could have been a minute.
And also, it's weird too is that why and the fact that she's even talking to the hierarchs.
Yeah, she's talking to them like she can tell them what's what.
Yeah, which is really weird.
I'm surprised the other lady was like, his jaws, all of his mandibles should have been on the ground.
I mean, because think about it. When we see in Halo 2, the Arbiter is sometimes literally on his knee, like bowing down to...
Because they're like gods.
Yeah.
So she tells them that that's what we're going to do. So she's going to infiltrate, try to steal that artifact from Chief. We get to the humans round table, and then they're talking about like, oh, the magical situation's under control because they gave it to some guy. And again, apparently he's a bad guy.
Yeah, he's a super bad guy, but he's getting results, so keep him in.
Oh, fuel prices are down.
Yeah.
I can't believe Biden.
I'm not, but the thing is, why would they even care about that in Halo? That's not even a storyline.
So they're like, oh, what about Master Chief? Well, when he comes in, he's going to be punished. But, oh, we can't punish him because he's the face of the people. What are we going to do? Then Halsey's like, oh, me and What's-Her-Face have been working on a program, and it's a AI program, and it'll go into their minds, and then it will help control him, and it will basically give him all our knowledge will be accessible to him at all times.
Yeah,
so he'll be like the ultimate like general, general.
Yeah, that's what they're saying is he's the general mind with a soldier.
But I'm pretty sure Cortana doesn't do that though.
No, she doesn't.
Game. No, she's just
she does.
supplement.
She does have like super knowledge, but she doesn't control what Chief does.
No.
But then she keeps saying this, and this was a program that lady didn't want.
Right.
But then she kept saying, yeah, she's really cool with this. Then everyone's like, I don't know, are we doing like
flash cloning?
Flash cloning, and we're not supposed to be doing that. Then the other guy's like, whoa. You're cool with this? If you're the head of it and you say it's cool, I trust you. Then she's like, Master Chief provides us with we can run some few tests. We can do like a test run.
He can be the test run, yeah.
Well, okay, get it going and let me know how it goes. And then there's Halsey like, oh, we're going to do such wonderful things together, my child. So this is...
a clone of her.
A Halsey clone, which becomes Cortana, but then why would they need a clone of... Because they take your brain, so they don't care if it scrambles the brain of the clone, right?
Right, because I think what happens is when you do the AI, they scan your brain, but that could cause problems. So I'm guessing they're going to do it on this Flash clone so that Halsey doesn't die. Because Halsey's kind of like full of herself.
So that's what they're going to do. So the plan is capture Master Chief, bring him in, and...
hook up Cortana.
Cortana to control his head.
Yeah.
So we get to Admiral Hux from... Rise of Skywalker.
Same feels.
Same kind of feels. So he's white. So what does that mean?
Evil.
Right.
So I know it's redundant. So when I say white person, I really mean evil person.
Yeah, let's just go.
This guy's as evil as evil. He's executing people like Azir style.
Yeah. Summary executions. They didn't even do anything wrong.
Put bags on their heads, and he's like, "Oh, let's remember what's face did." He's like singing a little nursery rhyme at blowing people's brains out.
Yeah.
They have bags on their heads, but you see the blood splatter go everywhere.
Yeah, and then
that's pretty graphic.
And then one, he even like lifts it up and goes almost like to the effect of like, "Oh, you actually look kind of pretty," and shoots her anyways.
Yeah, remember what he did. He did this to you, not me. Then a little news camera's like, "Whoa, check this out!" And then he shoots the news camera. Then it goes like, "Oh, that was a news feed that was going across the universe." So we're watching full blown UNNC sanctioned mass massacres.
Yeah,
executions.
And they think somehow this girl's words are going to be like, oh, we're all going to join together after seeing that?
This lady has a word accent, too. She's like, oh, that's terrible. And then Quan's like, I hate this guy. Oh, do you want revenge? She's like, no, I want justice. And one thing she's like, yeah, you can confuse those things pretty easily.
Yeah.
She's like, my whole world got wiped out by the Covenant.
And her world did, too.
So, there you go.
I know, that's the enemy.
So, like, okay, then we get to Chief and Soren, and they're like, it's just like back to the thing. Hey man, check out this food, man.
It's all free.
It's free like a Boyd. So he's eating it. I can't taste nothing. That's because your taste buds haven't been free, my man. And then, so that's everything he keeps saying. Because they're supplements they've been taking, it numbs their minds and even their taste buds. My God. That's just so stupid.
They're not like I said, they're not mindless drones.
They're not robots.
No, they're not.
So he shows him the freaking artifact, and he's like, "What's that thing?" He's like, "I don't know what it is, but when I touched it, it like activated or whatever." And he's like, "Well, what does it do?" He's like, "I don't know." Like it made like a surge, and he's like, "Well, I know a guy." He's like, "Oh, I'm not trying to sell it." He's like, "No, he's been with the Covenant before, so he's seen some things." So he's like, oh, "Okay, we'll go talk to that guy." And this is where his son runs in. And he puts a little stamp on his hand, like a little smiley face. He's like, oh, that means he trusts you. And John's like, okay, I accept like your trust. And he goes, like, come on, man, that's not being free.
Yeah, because it was kind of a cute moment because he like, kneels down and was like, I accept your trust, whatever. And I'm like, it's really nice. And he's like, he had to be so stuck up.
That's not being free, my man.
Yeah, exactly. What the hell?
So, in this free world, they have an insane asylum.
It's very nice.
Yeah, it's very nice that in the world of freedom, they have people in cages. Okay. The other Spartan's like, oh, it looks like he jumped off in an asteroid field. That's crazy. Well, we'll keep tracking him. Okay. Get back to Master Chief, and what's your face is talking to her, saying, "Do you got this under control? Like, are you gonna do this AI program?" Like, yep, that's what we're gonna do. Then Keyes' daughter is like, "Hey, what's the deal?
That's
like,
under my jurisdiction."
Yeah, that artifact, I should study that because I'm the one who came up with the seal technology and all those other things. I can decipher this thing and be on my side while you're on Halsey's side.
Legislative infighting.
Yeah.
That's what we always wanted.
Yeah.
in Halo show.
Interdepartmental power struggles. So weird. So we get back to the crazy nut house. And where's your freedom now? So there's like literally people like Arkham. People like in cages.
First I thought it was
nuts.
a prison. No, this is not. This is mental.
It was mental.
Yeah, it's like a mental hospital, but not really a hospital. It's like a ding dark.
It's because it's like almost like not trying to get them better to contain them. There.
Yeah,
just to keep them happy.
Yeah, no one's being treated here.
No.
So like we get a few minutes of them walking around and people being crazy. Then they get to crazy guy and he's full blown. He's the Rat Man. Remember from Portal?
Yeah.
Remember in the walls, the Rat Man? That's what he became.
Yep.
What is this? What's happening? Let's see the light. The light's here. No, the Covenant. Oh, no, what they do to you? Your eyes, you see the future. And like, she's like a crazy person.
Yeah.
Then he's like, hey, I forgot his name, Rhett or something? He's like, hey, man, I got a guy who wants to talk to you. He's like, oh, Spartan. You've seen them, haven't you? You fought the Covenant. You fought them and you won. And he's like, yeah, I fought some of them, but we haven't won yet. And he's like, don't worry, man. This guy's a Covenant killer. He's a killer machine. He's like, oh, that's good. Then he's like, oh, tell me what you've seen. He's like, oh, there's the Covenant. They're religious. They're looking for artifacts. These are artifacts like these, but only certain people can activate them. Even though I'm special, I couldn't activate it, not the way that she could. So I'm assuming they're talking about that other chick,
right? But then one problem I have is
how's this guy know all these things?
How? It'd be one thing maybe if he was what is that called when you know languages?
Yeah, linguistics.
Yes, if he had like that background. We don't know anything about this guy.
He's crazy.
Maybe
they did mind things to him or something.
Maybe to try to figure out maybe if he could.
But how did he get away?
I don't know. Also, I never liked I don't like the idea that you have to be special to use it. It was just you had to be human.
Yeah, just humans. You have to have human DNA.
That's it.
Any human could activate it.
Because that was the problem in Halo 3 is that they had Sergeant Johnson and Keyes. So any of those two could activate the ring.
And the thing is, since the Covenant hate humanity so much that they would have just literally combined humanity, they would have got everything they wanted.
Yeah, they would have worked.
But but they already have what's her face. But apparently,
yeah. So they're changing the lore again.
Then she's like, oh, he touches it and it doesn't work. He's like, see, I'm not special, not like you. Then he's like, what is it? He's all, do you want to help the Covenant win the war? He's like, oh no, of course not. Then he must destroy it. So he's gonna go break it, and then Master Chief grabs it, but then it activates. Yep. Then we see the Halo ring and everything, and then he gets a bunch of dreams of being a kid again, and he can't draw for beans. We see like the little like doggy and like his dad's like, John. So this is when they kidnapped him. But it was secret though. In the original Halo world, they would literally in the middle of the night steal you, put a clone in your bed, and then they wouldn't know any different.
Right, and the clone would die.
Would get sick and die.
Yeah.
And then I'd be like, oh, your son just got a weird disease and he died, and then you didn't even know that.
Yes, because the flash cloning wasn't perfect, so the clones would die. So they're like, we can't just clone.
One big in the show, they just take the kid and that's it.
Yeah, they force take the kid,
and the family doesn't even know, and the family's right there, and they try to stop them and they can't.
And what's weird too, I think like from the flashbacks, what I can tell is it trying to say that his father was like an archaeologist and found that first.
Maybe,
but I think like, but if they do that, that's really
his
dumb.
dad should be in Indiana Jones.
I know, right?
So like it goes off, all the memory things happen, and the guy's like, "Oh, you're special. You're one of the blessed ones." He's like, "What is that? What am I?" And he's like, "I don't know." He's like, "Oh, but you've seen it, right? You've seen the visions." And he's like, "But you could also stop it." So that's gonna like tells you like John's like a chosen one. Here's the thing, John Rose. That's what I love about John. You know, the way Master Chief was. He's like, I just did my job.
Yeah.
I wasn't chosen. I wasn't special. I'm just a Spartan that does their job. Here, he's literally a chosen one.
Yeah, and same with that other lady.
Yeah,
it's literally they're chosen. Yeah.
I don't like it.
Yeah.
No.
I like it when someone just rises to the occasion.
Right.
Not that, oh, you were preordained to be a hero.
Yeah.
Yeah, like he already has like that legend status, but they're literally making him the legend, like you said before.
So then Master Chief's like, oh, I gotta get back. He's like, what do you mean? We can solve this here. It's like, no, I have to get back because if this is a super weapon, he goes, I've seen the things that the Covenant can do. They have a weapon that's even stronger? He's like, because it's going to wipe out all humanity because that's what the Halo rings do.
Right.
See, the Covenant, story-wise, in the games, think the Halo rings will activate a doorway and the door will lead them to the next level of existence. Right. It's just a world-wiping thing that kills all living things to get rid of the Flood.
That's all it is.
That's all it is.
And the hierarchs or whatever, the Covenant, they brainwashed pretty much their whole Covenant group to think that this was going to happen. Yeah. And all the bad guys will be burnt away, and we all.
Yeah, you'll be saved. Yeah, it will get rid of all the crap in the universe, and then we, the chosen ones, will move on to the next plane of existence.
Right.
No, everyone just dies.
Everyone dies. Yeah.
And then that's the whole point, because then life gets to start all over again. And apparently, this has happened a couple times. So. So then he's like, no, I got to go back. He's like, just watch the girl for me.
And even that crazy person so much, you just kill yourself. It's so weird. Like,
yeah, because then you won't be able to use it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But then he puts on his helmet and says, oh, I'm getting out of here and going back home. He goes back home, leaves the girl there. I thought the girl was going to stow away.
I'm glad she did. I'm glad.
It just made sense.
So he returns on his transponder and they find him.
Gets there pretty quick, too.
He gets there pretty quick. So they go there, they arrested him, and they're like walking him through. And then he looks over at Halsey, and Halsey's like, yeah, baby. They get they look at each other weird.
I know they do.
In the books, there was a weirdness there because all the stuff they did to John, they made him into like a man. Yeah. He was only like 10, but he had the body of like a 23-year-old. And since he had like a perfect body, he's like literally 100% cut, ripped, and everything Captain America style. Mm-hmm. And then Halsey kind of had a
fascination with John.
I don't think she ever wanted to like
be with
sex with him. Yeah, but it was weird. They had a weird relationship.
Because you're like the perfect human being. Yeah. Physical specimen, Right. They're kind of like in that way.
And it's kind of funny because even in the books, they talk about that, how like awkward it would be for the Marines because they would see them and they literally are like perfect specimens. Yeah. Literally. Males and females, they're just like.
Yeah, they're the Greek statues of the gods. That's exactly what they would look like.
Yeah.
So, yeah, there's that weirdness and they're always looking at each other all weird. So then they get the artifact, they bring it back, and then she sits in the room with John, and John talks to her like almost like a mom. Yeah. Oh, so what's happening? And then she's like, well, John, you are a bad boy. How am I supposed to trust you? What's happening? He's like, I'm having dreams. Oh, let's not talk about that, because she knows those are his real memories. But she's like, I think I have something that can help you. You're making the next step or whatever to like becoming the next best thing. Then we get to see that guy again who's doing the with our new partners in UNNC, we can murder with abandon. And then one girl's watching like, damn, I hate that guy. So then this whole time it keeps cutting back to that other girl taking off all her clothes. I'm like, oh yeah, let's see some nakedness, and we get to see her butt
and a side boob. But I'm like, that's
really we see side
Halo?
Boob and butt
on Halo. I never thought I would see those two words together.
Yeah, so we're talking some good old pancake butt, the way Mom used to make. So she didn't really have much of a body. But yeah, she's like looking at her body like she's never seen it before.
And it's really weird. And then she has the mark on her back, and
people are saying that's the mark of the Arbiter. Remember that the mark of shame they gave him?
If they make her the Arbiter, I will be done with this.
But they called it the Chosen or the Blessed One.
Blessed One. No, and the Arbiter is more like
the blessed. Yeah. You're not good. You're bad.
I don't know about the Covenant, but as a human being, you got to take showers. You'd be pretty rank if you never take a shower. Okay.
Maybe they like that.
So then she's like, oh, we're going to do great things, you and I. And she's talking to her like her clone, and that's how it ends. This is such a long episode. It's so long. It's an hour long. I feel like it was 45 hours long.
And the thing is, and they guarantee that the podcast we did review on it's not even be close to an hour because a lot didn't happen.
No, it's a lot of walking around.
A lot of walking around and just visual stuff that wasn't all that great.
No action.
And really, it could have been, 25 minutes?
Yeah.
The only action we got is a guy similar executing people. That's great. That's nice.
That's the only gunshots we got.
UNNC sanctioned executions.
Yeah. Yeah.
The bad guys.
Oh my
They're full-blown bad guys.
That's terrible.
Like, Microsoft, why would you do this? Because now you have to play a game where you're playing, as
the bad guys.
Right?
Yeah. The bad guys, full-blown bad guys.
I mean, how did you allow... I mean, not only that, I know you don't want a critical, but you didn't at least give him a story or something to do.
To follow this.
Follow this, some guidelines. God, this is awful. This is probably some of the worst television I've seen.
Yeah, it's awful sci-fi.
Yeah.
It is.
Oh no, an asteroid belt. Really, guys?
Oh no, we're falling in a black hole.
Yeah, I know. What's the next thing that's gonna happen?
Danger.
Running around, Chief.
Danger. Will Robinson. Oh, sorry. Don't every sci-fi trope in there.
I don't know. I don't know where the series is gonna go.
It's probably gonna get worse before it gets better, if it ever gets better.
Crimson's in here. Thanks for watching the video. Remember, you can contact us on any of the social media platforms in the description down below. And while you're here, be sure to click on one of the videos over on the right.